So Kelly, it's great to have you here today, and thank you very much for participating in our 30+1 Stories of Resilience.
Thanks for having me. It's a
Oh,
pleasure to be here.
it's exciting. It really is. Tell me, what do stories mean for you? What do they do for you?
Stories, those are two different things. Okay, so what do stories mean to me? Stories mean um, off cuff imagination, um, because my first memory of stories were poems and you know characters and things like that that were shared with me from when I was little. I I've been a children's book collector my entire life, thanks to my mom and dad starting that off. So, what do stories mean to me? It means memories. It means going back to my very first memories of what my love for reading, my love for
Great.
stories, what
Okay.
how that how you transcend into different spaces and able to just kind of put things together, up here, wherever.
So it's about taking you out of yourself to other places.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Sounds
Then
good.
you asked me, what do stories mean to me?
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
what do stories mean to me? Stories mean to me a way to grow. So, whether it's from an imagination space, that grows your ability to create. That's your create for me. That's the creative side. Stories that are people's experiences, whether it's a story about an experience that is factual or not, that doesn't matter. But experiences, then what does that mean to me? It means growth in, if I were in that situation, how would I have handled that? Do I see myself in that? Would I have responded the same way? Do I like how those exchanges worked? Would I do this? What would I do differently? You
Right.
know,
Right. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. So I was reading about reading and stories, and something they put in a way I hadn't thought of before, and you just articulated, was it helps you see another POV, another point of view. And it was like, okay, I've always read and enjoyed other points of view, and I never quite thought of it as an official way to learn. And
hmm,
and it was just something I really enjoyed. And then as I got into my 30s and was recovering from my 7-year battle with a couple of bouts of cancer, I started reading inspirational, not the extra sappy stuff, but and there's a place for that, because
yes,
we all have our own line of in the sand where it's too sappy or it's not realistic, and that's okay. But it was, I know it's all fiction, and yet it's sticking. It's helping me get out of bed in the morning, because after my 7-year battle, I was a little tired every day emotionally.
mm,
And so stories for me are about giving me a leg up, a hand up, not a handout. And so that's what I know our book's going to do. And of course, the title 30+1, the goal is that +1 is we want you to just give it one more day. Just one more day. Come on, one more day.
you can do it.
Absolutely. So for me to hear your story soon and to get your autograph in the book soon is going to be really inspiring to me, because we all can use each other's stories to leverage for more happiness, more quality of experience, better quality outcomes. And so resiliency and thriving and flourishing to me are a way of life to teach and share, because I'm not supposed to be here statistically several times.
I am glad you are, and I know a whole group of people that are glad you are.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So this book has got me so excited, because it dovetails into everything I've been talking about for 37 years, is that regular and irregular people can, with a little help and a lot of inner practice, do extraordinary things for a better quality experience and a better quality outcome.
Yeah.
And we need to remind each other and remember that that can be. So what do you want people to take, without sharing your story, because they need to read the book?
They need to read the book.
Yes. So what do you want people to take away from your story?
Wow. Huh.
Hmm.
I am not let's see. To take away.
Well, all you contemplate, and I'll share that for me, the, I want people to take away the fact that ask for help, but give direction when you ask for help. So when I was going through it the first time, I had been there for 9 months in a new place. So a new province, a new state for work. I was on what I called my corporate tour of duty. I got myself a promotion. I was all grown up now. I was having 7, 8 figures of responsibility. It was like, woohoo. And suddenly, oh, I have no family. I've got a new neighbor for 10 months or 6 months, and another neighbor over here from 8 months. But I'm fighting this with my spouse, and there's nobody else geographically even close by 1,000 miles. So I picked up the phone when long distance cost money, and I phoned 90 odd people. Yeah, people go, my long distance bill last month was $60. And I'm thinking, wow, I wish back when I made $19,000 a year, I had the week I got my diagnosis, the next month the bill was a few $100s. I phoned 197 people. Hi, it's Michael. I'm scared out of my wits. I value you. Here's where the asking for help and giving direction helps and counts. I'm going through big stuff. I plan on surviving, but I want you to send me something positive. A note in the mail. There's no faxes back then, no emails. I'm that old. And so tell me something positive. Maybe you planted spring flowers. Maybe you're going to send me a picture of spring flowers. Maybe your daughter, your sister, your parent just had something really nice happen. To the guys in the company, I said, what are our numbers? Did we set a shipping record? How's that customer of mine that complains about everything? When we get a nice sunny day, it's too bright out. When it rains, it's too wet out. You name it, it doesn't go well. So I challenged them to say something nice. Tell me something good going on. And so what was remarkable, I then got an uplifting tsunami of positives. I didn't want oh poor use. I didn't want empathy or sympathy. Tell me what's going on in your life that's positive. My mother's friend, Betty, love her forever. She's 90 something years old now.
Oh my goodness.
Her and her husband, she ordered it, so I know it was hers. Bob's was an awesome gentleman, but Betty was the inspiration. She sent me a purple crocus, full bloom. This was February in Nova Scotia, so it was forced. It was advanced spring. It was in a gardening hat with gloves. And said, so flowers for now, the hat and the gloves are for when you get home and you get in the garden. Talk about symbolism. Oh my, I met her when I was 17 and I welcomed her to our little town. And of course, I've teased the daylights out of her ever since she moved to my parents' little town. That never since then, property values have been lagging.
Oh.
No, we're polite. Oh, no, we're not. We give each other a polite hard time all the time. And she was a real estate expert. So I bought and sold houses 3 times through her, and she was world class. The one time out of province I brought a copy of her work, and the lawyer there was like, who did this? This person's remarkable. Best I've seen. So her work ethic was here, but to ask for help and give some specifics. I didn't want sympathy or empathy. I was scared out of my wits, ready to fight the fight. But tell me what's going on in your life that's uplifting, tiny or big. So that's what I want them to take away when I tell my story, because it really made a significant difference. And it was fun to have the staff go, who are you? Are you a media person from another province hiding out and they suddenly discovered you? No, I'm just a sales guy with a few friends and a lot of business connections. And I phoned 197 and saying, help. And it arrived.
Lifelines.
Canada Post must have had a blip in sales for 2 weeks.
They should send you a thank you if they haven't.
Yeah. 1983, guys, Halifax, Nova Scotia.
I think the universe is doing that.
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
yes.
That's what I want them to take away from me, because being resilient is about asking for help.
It is. I think it's fair to say everyone has experienced resiliency in their lives. So for me, when being invited to this project was which experience of resiliency really had a tremendous impact, so profound that it hadn't had a way for it to gift other people. So one of my people that have known me like my whole life, they know
All 24 years, right?
44. I own it. No, I don't need to be 24. I love where I'm at. But it is, it's, oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. Oh no.
Put the train back on the rails, but we'll get to
Yeah,
it.
the resiliency is it's choosing which one, which experience that I haven't had the opportunity clear as to how I could take that experience and really gift it to others to inspire them.
Yes.
And an experience that is, oh, that's it. So my whole life, anyone that has known me, my favorite thing to do is to give gifts. I love giving gifts. That is my favorite. I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't care if the gift is a card, if it's me singing on their answering machine. I just said answering machine. Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Audio, whatever. That's it. And I absolutely love it. And over 20 years ago, I had an amazing experience, and I was gifted the opportunity to give the greatest gift ever. And I am not going to give any details away. I started crying when I talked to Michelle. And it was at that time, being 44 and being in my early 20s, I was very grateful. Even then, I was very grateful for that. It was an opportunity. It was an experience. But it was the difficulties, not the difficulties, but, well, yeah, there was some difficulty in that. But wondering how I would ever be able to inspire others with it or utilize that experience to help others in any way, shape, or form. There were, like, I could make a list on paper and be like, oh, well, I could do this, but nothing like leapt out at me. And I had a decision very early on that I would need to sit in that grace of gratitude. And at some point in my life, how that would come out would just happen.
Yes. Yes.
And it just so happens that it is over 20 years later, being with my husband for over 20 years, being a mother of 4 beautiful, sorry.
Don't be sorry.
4 beautiful children that I now have the gift. I've been gifted the opportunity, the platform I share it with people that I know. I've been talking about it my whole life. My experience, people will know when they read it, is a huge part of my life every day, every year. And I never in a million years, when I sat with Michelle to discuss your guys' book, because I was so excited for you guys. And when she, I knew it was Resilient Life Stories, but in talking with her, back of it, your guys' conversation, what you're looking for, it literally hit me like a ton of bricks. I was thinking a different direction, but just sitting there, I was like, holy shit. This is it. And tears, I just started crying. I said, this is it.
Yep. Because when I was taking my 7-year trip in and out of the cancer ward, and it was mostly out, not all in, but there was the 2 bouts of cancer, there was the emergency midnight surgery. I met a lot of really wonderful people, but they'd never been given the challenge of asking for help for something huge. They'd never been given the challenge and a path from somebody else sharing something smaller or bigger. And I met them, and it was like they'd run into an invisible Lexon shield and couldn't get through it. And I thought, wow, I grew up hearing about my grandparents struggling when there was not enough food to eat. And literally, my dad would joke about going uphill to school in 6 feet of snow, both ways, with a frozen potato for lunch and a pack of wolves chasing. And it was meant to be stupid and over the top, but it was a metaphor for what they really had. I have from my parents' estate the 1929 or 1930 shovel they bought
Oh, wow.
to dig a garden. Now, a normal spade has a point. They were given they bought or was given the shovel because 1 in 4 men couldn't find a job in Canada after 1929 for a long time, and only 1 in 8 women could find a job. It was awful. Compared to other countries, it was good, but for us, it was. So people bandied together, and the government made sure everybody could eat. Well, part of the way you ate was, oh, Kelly, you're going to get a plot of land that's not used at the local graveyard, and so they're going to dig a vegetable garden. While this shovel from my grandparents, it's no longer got a point, because from 1929 till my dad passed, he used it every year in honor of his father. It's circular on the bottom. It's worn out.
Oh my God.
But the handle is silky smooth. Now my logic says I got no space to store it. I live in a 750 square foot unit with a storage unit. I can't get rid of it. It's got hundreds of hours of work attached to it, and I'll be darned if I throw it out. They can bury me with it, because
I'm with you.
Oh, the symbolism. And my dad, years old, carrying it. That was his job. Carry the shovel.
That's amazing though, right?
Oh, because it's only a shovel, but the symbolism of my dad growing into that shovel and the roles changing, and me and my dad going to my dad's house, father's house, and turning the soil over for the garden one more year. He's still here. One more year. Oh, this year he only wants 2 tomato plants. We're not digging the whole garden anymore. We're putting it back in sod. So as a 14-year-old who appreciates the cycle of life but doesn't really get it yet, it's like, oh,
right.
Now, like, did I eat even 1 tomato from that garden? That tomato fed a whole family for a long time.
Yes.
And they don't go to the graveyard anymore. He's the whole backyard, and he planted crocuses in that little hill so that his sweetie grandma could see flowers first snow melt of the year. Snow crocus.
Amazing.
So as we hear stories and other people's experience, which I look forward to learning from yours, it helps uplift us and focus us.
Well, it does, because when you get to walk away, there's again, every resiliency is different, but it's the opportunity for me to share this profound resiliency came over 20 years after the fact.
Yep.
And so it's, if you can be able to sit in grace and gratitude that it will come.
2 big states to practice.
Yes. That's it. And it's, whether it's with business, with anything, it's, don't quit, don't give up, don't any of that, because you don't know when timing is everything. When it's meant, when it's supposed to happen, it will happen. I believe in living angels. I believe, there's different levels of grace, and it will show up when it's meant to show up.
I
when
agree.
It's going to impact the most is when it's going to reveal itself. And it just so happens for me, it is this book, and it's amazing.
Very good. Well, I look forward to our launch night to be announced.
Yes.
I want to thank you very much for participating. And I want to say to the people that are watching, remember, when you ask for help, be open to anything, but also be specific. I once asked some prayer groups for wisdom to cope and the ability to heal. I forgot to ask for pain management. I got 2 of them well. I forgot to ask for the 3rd. So that's okay. So
that is okay.
Thank you very much. Let's wrap this up, and
absolutely,
we'll do this again after the book's out. But
That sounds good. I appreciate the time. I'm so excited for the book. This is an amazing collaboration to be a part of. You are an amazing gentleman. You are going to be you are an inspiration already, and I just love what you're doing. So it was easy to get behind and participate in this collaborative project. So